icy mountains cold.
Is this that Hobbit shit?
Hello, and welcome to That Hobbit Shit. I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike.
Mikey, we're back.
We are back after an impromptu hiatus.
We've been having a couple of those lately.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot going on.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Mike, what chapter are we doing today?
Corey, we're talking about chapter 18, otherwise titled Too Much Forest.
Well, that's going to hit home with a lot of people who tried to read The Lord of the Rings.
So just a quick recap, when we last left our heroes, Gandalf had just died. And everyone had escaped Moria otherwise intact. They gathered on a stoop and started crying. Aragorn takes one last shot at Gandalf and says, "I told you so." Then he tells all the crybabies to get their shit together. This road ain't gonna walk itself.
I need to mute myself.
Everyone starts walking around pretty awkwardly. To break the tension, Aragorn points out yonder Dimmeril Stair, the exact area where they should have come out had they taken the mountain they tried to. Gimli took the chance to shake his fist at the mountain one last time. The group wandered down a busted-up old dwarf road until Gimli stopped to gawk at an equally busted-up old waystone. It's Durin's stone, Corey. Even though literal wizard-killing death was hot on their heels, Gimli dragged Frodo down a crappy little hill to look at a crappy little lake with him. Sam followed. After what must have felt like forever, they continued on their escape. They crossed a cold little river, and Aragorn pointed out that they could follow it all the way to Lothlorien. Looking along the path of the river, the Fellowship saw it disappear into a golden haze. Legolas was pumped. Aragorn cautioned, "That's enough gawking for one day," and rushed everyone along. They went on for a long while at a fantastic pace. Aragorn was so focused on setting a new personal best that he almost didn't notice Frodo and Sam falling way behind. Tapping his watch, he called the company to a halt and wandered back to where Frodo and Sam lay, nursing their injuries. Aragorn realized that he was being an even worse leader than that old boozehound Gandalf, and called Boromir over to help him. They each carried a hobbit until it was safe to take a rest. They came at last to a small path along a small stream, and Aragorn treated Sam and Frodo's injuries with his typical rubbing herbs. Frodo shied away as Aragorn started fingering his shirt, but Aragorn popped it off anyways. Everyone paused in wonder at Frodo's mithril shirt. I paused in wonder too.
Oh, nicely done.
Aragorn bathed Frodo in herb water, and then they ate lunch.
Did you say herb?
Herb water.
It's pronounced herb, Mike.
Herb water. They traveled for 3 more hours, and as the sun set, Frodo once again heard padding feet. This time he told Gimli?
Why not?
Yep. They eventually approached a vast shadow. It was Lothlorien, Corey, looming over them. As they began to enter the woods, Boromir started posturing again. It had been weeks since he had last postured. He didn't want to enter the woods, but as usual, he had no better solution. So they set off. A mile in, they came across another cold stream. This one was a healing stream, and Legolas started singing a bunch of songs about it that wouldn't stop until they had a bit of a foot soak in it. After their soak, everyone sat down for dinner. Obviously very pumped up, Legolas started telling more stories about the river and about Lothlorien in general. And then he sang them a couple songs about the now slightly stinky river. After a bit of bickering back and forth between Gimli and Legolas, the group sets off in search of a suitable tree for sleeping. They found the perfect group, and just as Legolas started to climb, someone starts fucking yelling at them, then laughing at them. It was elves, Corey, and a lot of them. They'd been following the crew for a while and were waiting on them to dip their beards in the river. Legolas and Frodo and Sam, of course, climbed up the tree to meet them. Up top, they met Haldir and his bros. They were seated upon a flat platform. They invited the entire party up, even the stinking dwarf. They were going to have a sleepover. Everyone climbed all the way up and cozied up for their first sleepover in months. since Bree.
Since Gandalf.
Yeah. Frodo awoke in the night to the sound of battle. No doubt those orcs were getting their comeuppance. He fell back asleep smiling. In the morn, everyone climbed down and started getting ready to set off. The elves were going to lead them to their city. They walked for a while, and after waiting until he had crossed a very treacherous river, the elves demanded that Gimli start wearing a blindfold. Gimli was, of course, super offended and started squaring up to fight the elves. The elves squared right back at them, and things looked pretty bad until Aragorn, improving every moment as a leader, suggested they all go on blindfolded. Sam smiled coyly. They stumbled along the entire day like that.
What are you implying there, Mike?
I don't know. That's what he did.
Sam's just down for whatever.
I think he's down for a lot of things. They stumbled
with
along.
his slowly expanding mind. Sorry.
There are elves present, Corey.
Whatever you say, sir.
They stumbled along the entire day blindfolded like that, making awkward chit-chat and groping around embarrassingly. They even lay down to sleep blindfolded. The next day, they set off again and came across a merry troop of elves. They brought news that they had murdered all of the dirty old orcs that were running through the forest. And even better, the crew could remove their blindfolds, even the stinking dwarf. Turns out they had arrived at the outskirts of Siren Amroth, I believe it's called. It was time for some steamrollers in the tall grass. After the party had recovered their dignity, they realized Frodo wasn't taking part. He was staring dumbfounded at the capital of Lothlorien. Sam joins him, never missing a chance to gape. Haldir is so impressed with Frodo's wonderment that he offers to take him to the capital himself. And Sam, of course. They headed off up a hill towards some tall trees that seemed to be the source of light and beauty in the forest. The heart of elvendom on earth.
Oh, the heart.
The heart. Heart. Yeah, fun chapter. Very elf heavy.
Pretty elf heavy, yeah. Excellent summary, Mike. I was so enthralled that I was just waiting for more.
Yeah, it kind of cuts off like that. Like it was a bit of a cliffhanger, you might say.
You might.
Corey, what notes do you have? Do you have anything?
Okay. I got a couple. All right, you'll either find my first note funny, or you will absolutely hate me for the insinuation. But, Mike, is Lothlorien a totalitarian society?
I think probably.
It seems pretty you have crossed our borders. We will either kill you or take you to the king and queen,
Yep.
and they will decide whether or not to kill you.
Yeah, no one makes decisions for themselves, it seems.
Nope. No, it's all for the state.
The greater good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's my note. I had a sort of side note that if it's not totalitarian, it's cult-like at the very least.
The cult of Galadriel. It would be tough not to join.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fair enough.
Just elbowing each other. It's her.
She gave me 3.
My first note is I'm surprised the hobbits will go near another forest so soon.
Yeah, that's fair.
They were all just pretty okay with going into the forest after the last time they were in the forest. They got fucked.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. It's an interesting coincidence that Moria might be one of the at least rumored and apparently proven to be one of the worst places in Middle Earth, and then just on the doorstep is perhaps one of the best places in Middle Earth.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Like they can butt right up against each other and fend each other off.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, to take your note somewhat seriously, perhaps they're just sort of like numb and they're just like, I'll just follow whoever's taking us forever.
Yeah, good point.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been third time's the charm, right? They've had 2 fuck ups.
Yeah, what could go wrong this time? Why would it go wrong this time?
Yeah.
That leads a little bit, people being reluctant to enter forests leads a bit into my next note. We get some more Boromir and Aragorn butting heads.
Yeah, they don't get along, do they?
No, they really don't. Anytime one of them makes a decision, the other one instantly hates it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it comes from Boromir, but I am surprised it comes from Aragorn.
Yeah, I really, comes back to, I thought Aragorn was above all of this.
Yeah, he has a lot of growing up to do.
Yep, definitely. And their arguments are pretty funny.
I had written Boromir is such a buzzkill. He's a grim man, Corey.
I wrote that Boromir is just a plain guy, man. Like he just likes ketchup on his steak, and like that's it.
Is he the everyman along this journey? And he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it.
Can we stop for a second? Like, what if we just take the road? How about that?
Was a fucking wizard leading us for what? What is even a wizard?
Yeah, and then he died. Like a fire demon killed him. Hello. After the mountain attacked us. Now you want to go into a haunted forest?
I bet he, like, when they took the blindfolds off, he probably just put his back on. He was like, you know what? Forget all of this.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't need to see the forest.
Just tell me when everyone starts dying and I'll take mine off.
When it's time to blow my horn, let me know.
Wow. Team Boromir over here. My next note is, have you noticed through this book and The Hobbit, dwarves routinely overestimate their hearing?
They certainly overestimate a lot of things.
They're sneaking. They're fire starting.
Yeah, they're fire starting for sure. Yep. Or does that make dwarves liars or prideful?
I think probably prideful or like, yeah, narcissist. I don't know.
Well, their favorite, one of their most holy spots is a reflecting pond. That's
Yeah.
pretty narcissistic.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, I guess you're right. This is your note.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just funny. Like, I think it was when, obviously Gollum, spoiler, is following them, and
Oh, that is a spoiler.
Gimli says, "I don't hear anything."
Did Frodo did he mention it to anyone in Moria? He didn't, did he?
No, he just kept it to himself.
Yeah, like he woke up in that hall the one night and saw eyes and then didn't say anything.
Yeah, he's like, huh. And this time he only told Gimli.
Yeah, he only told the dwarf. Which is, yeah, your summary where you're like, he told Gimli kind of sums it up. There's a footnote to the appendices in this chapter.
Oh, about Boromir?
No.
Wait. Is it about Lothlorien?
It's about elf language, I believe. When Legolas responds to the elves in the tree.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, though. I just wanted to mention that there's a footnote to the appendices, and because we love the appendices.
Never missing a chance to make more intricate language, I'm sure.
Yeah, certainly not.
Speaking of elves, they're giggling at our heroes again. It's been a while since there was a good elf teasing.
Yeah. It was kind of an odd time for that, but I guess they all are. I guess it's fairly inappropriate. Like, hey, get fingers off that tree or you're dead.
Yeah.
And then I've got 3 arrows aimed at your skull.
Probably singing a terrible song too about dipping their beards in the water and whatnot.
Mocking I don't know who they. I think mock any of them really. I was
Yeah,
just gonna just.
every one of them but Aragorn.
Oh well, that's one of my notes. Mike Aragorn is known in Lorien and has the favor of the lady.
Yeah, he is known.
The favor of the lady.
He had some good times in Lothlorien, I think.
It seems like it, yeah.
Some very familiar times.
And moving along.
Speaking of the elves of Lothlorien, they mentioned that it has been a long time since they had heard of halflings.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder, maybe it goes into your totalitarian theory. How have they not heard about Bilbo Baggins?
Oh.
Galadriel is
interesting.
part of the White Council.
Yeah, that's true. Oh wow. You were talking about dad jokes earlier. She treats her citizens like mushrooms, keeps them in the dark, and feeds them shit. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, she didn't tell them anything. You're on a need to know basis, and you don't need to know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Because that's a big one.
Yeah, because like you could argue that they said it's been a long time, but what's it been? 80 years or something like that? Not that long for an elf.
No, definitely not. I think they also said in that same thing, like, it's been a long time since we've heard of halflings and didn't know that they were in Middle Earth, I think.
You're right. Something like that, yeah.
That's oddly provocative. Like, what are you getting at? Where did the halflings come from?
I guess they're very hobbit-like in that they don't care about what happens outside of their domain.
Also, perhaps a totalitarian thing.
Yeah,
maybe we should stop inferring that. Yeah, very interesting, actually.
Another theory for us to present to the Tolkien Society.
Yep, add it to the list of grievances / theories. Speaking of grievances, Legolas as much as calls Pippin a hobo when he says, then dig a hole in the ground if that is more after the fashion of your kind.
Does he know that the homeless hobbits just dig a little hole in the ground and cover themselves with leaves?
I don't know which is like more insensitive, if he does know or if he doesn't know.
Well, he's a stuck-up little prince. Like
that's true. His father rides around on a fucking elk.
The stream of healing that healed them of their sores from travel.
Yes.
Wouldn't any cold stream do that?
This goes back to like talking about Gandalf and whether or not he actually casts spells.
Yeah, I think it just kind of makes it relatable. Like you can think of a time when everyone probably has had a time when they just waded through a stream and their feet felt great.
Oh yeah, or
hot day.
Yeah, or like a shower after like I don't know a really hard day at work or something like that.
Yeah, like you biked 20K and
Yeah, totally. Well, what do you think, Mike? Do you think it was a magic stream?
Probably. I don't know. It's just funny. Like
it's about time.
Maybe Legolas's perspective's all warped because he's an elf. He's like, and other beings wouldn't understand the magic of a stream. It makes your feet feel better. Like he can't relate to them on normal terms.
No, certainly not. Yeah, because he thinks it's fine to call a member of the Took family, like the Tooks, Mike, like and like high up in
Hobbit royalty.
Basically, yeah, calling him a hobo.
Yeah. I wish. Dude, I wonder if Legolas ever goes to Hobbiton. I can't remember, and I guess we'll find out at some point.
Yeah. In a couple of years, we'll find out. No, I can't remember either. Actually,
I don't know. In the movie, that he doesn't. But
I've got one more note, which actually yours leads very very cleanly into. This has been a good note section. So Nimrodel, the healing stream, we get the song of Nimrodel in this chapter that Legolas sings.
Are you going to sing it?
No, I'm not. Because I don't like singing long, sad songs. Is there any elf song that is not both long and sad?
Maybe it's an analogy for their lives, Corey.
Long and sad. That's rough, man. Elves have it like, okay, I'll say might. I'll give this an option here. They might have it pretty shitty.
Well, they've just seen so much.
Yeah, I guess I know what that's like.
They've seen like the best years of their lives are what, 1,500 years ago.
Yeah, it's actually more than an age ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Huh, okay. I don't feel better, but that sort of answers my question.
They must be so annoying. You know, like when a boomer tells you how much better it used to be.
Yeah, imagine like a million times that.
Yeah.
Before halflings came into the world.
Oh God.
Do you have any more notes, Mike?
I have one silly one.
Okay.
Those poor hobbits climbing those ladders.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're terrified.
Yeah, they don't like heights to begin with, and they're just going up rope ladders.
Yeah. Yeah, rope ladders are hard to climb. I never liked them as a child.
No, and then like, we're not pudgy little hobbits.
Yeah, imagine climbing a rope ladder with like feet that are bigger than your head.
Yeah, like a 20-pound pack.
Yeah. And Sam's 20-pound pack, because that's where all the blankets are.
Sam's pots and pans clanging.
And orcs on your tail. Sleep in this tree, and then you hear 1,000 orcs march past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Off to the dragon?
Yeah. Yes.
But the only food for the brave and true comes from the green dragon.
Welcome, friends, to the Green Dragon Inn, the segment where we discuss our carefully selected beers that we have carefully selected for today's episode. Mike, what are you drinking?
Sorry, I am drinking the Green Goblin Irish Red Ale.
Ooh.
Selected after the Green Goblins from the mountain who were chasing our heroes.
That's a cool selection.
Yeah, I just kind of fell onto it. Never even heard of this brewery. Small Block Brewing Company in Duncan, BC.
Is that mainland?
Oh, that's on the island, Corey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm trying it for the first time. It's an Irish red ale, so I don't know what to expect.
Cool. While you're tasting, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and.
Oh, Corey, this is pleasantly malty, if you know what I mean.
I think so. That was a good description.
It's not like cloying.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. The label art, but everything else is great.
You didn't buy it for the label art?
No.
Oh, interesting choice.
Yeah. I have some. I won't go into it. It's a tasty beer. I like it. No IBU.
Mike, do you think?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think our far-reaching influence at that Hobbit shit has caused breweries to realize the bullshittedness of IBUs and they just stop posting them?
I think so, probably, yeah. They stopped caring. We still haven't. What's our record right now? Was it like 96 or something, or 60?
No, I think it was in the 60s. Okay. But it has been a long time since I've seen an IBU on a beer.
Oh, I stopped reaching. I got to reach.
Well, I never think of it when I'm at the store, but when we're talking about it here.
Yeah, I had one the other day that was quite hoppy. And it was actually supposed to be my beer for this episode, but then we delayed one last time.
Say no more, my friend.
It was my delay. This is good, though. It's a nice shoulder season beer, if that makes sense. Nice
Uh,
spring beer or fall beer. Fall beer would
yeah.
be ideal, I think, for this Irish red ale.
Okay.
A little heavy, but it's nice. Or sipping beer.
Yeah, if it's a touch cold outside, a heavier beer helps you through.
I find that I like an IPA or a like a lager or a pilsner on a hot day.
Yes.
And winter's for dark beers. We know that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I just recently learned this.
Weekends are for the boys, and winters are for dark beers.
And this has been that philosophy shit.
Yeah. Corey, what are you drinking, buddy?
Well, Mike, I snuck some sips in. But funny enough, wild synchronicity here, bro. I'm also having a beer from a brewery I've never heard of. I've never tried before. And it is called Rainbow in the Dark.
Oh.
Because, Mike, after all that happened, isn't Lothlorien just a rainbow in the dark for them?
It kind of literally is. They have their lights turned off, all of them.
Yes, but they're safe. They're in the heart of Elvendom on Earth. Yeah, it's from Red Line Brewhouse, which is in Barrie, Ontario. Never had anything from them before. It's an IPA, a strong beer, 6.6%.
You say
It's pretty good.
Red Line Brewhouse?
Red Line Brewhouse, yes.
So this is a small block, and it is also a car-themed brewery.
Huh.
Huh.
Wild synchronicity here.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Well, Mike, mine has a bit of a reddish tint to it.
For real?
Yeah, man, I don't make this up. It's good. It's quite bitter actually. In terms of international bitterness units, it's like I think I've said this before. It's sort of like a grapefruit pith kind of bitterness.
Oh,
but it's nice. It's pretty balanced though. It's a good IPA. It's pretty solid. And it is.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, and it's hot as heck in Toronto currently. And as you were just saying, an IPA is good for a hot day.
It is. Well, nicely chosen, Corey, for this
Thanks,
our return visit.
Yeah, it's nice. They still know our names here.
Yeah, they don't care.
Great trip to the Dragon.
Yeah.
The Matham House, it was called.
Welcome to the Matham House, where we discuss things that shouldn't be discussed anywhere else. Corey, what was the Matham you were assigned?
Well, Mike, in the Matham House, you asked me to talk about the Malorn tree.
Oh yeah, the Malorn.
Yeah, because Lothlorien is made up of golden leaved Malorn trees. And Mike, did you know that Malorn is the singular form of the word?
Oh, no, I didn't actually.
Well, Mike, the plural is Melern.
Okay.
This is going to be a pretty quick trip to the Matham House. So forgive me for stretching it. So, Mike, in our world, these trees would most resemble a beech tree with their silver gray bark.
Right.
Yeah, of course, obviously. And they grow straight and tall, and the branches grow out in flat segments coming straight out from the trunk, making it easy for cool elves who live in them to build cities and shit. They
sound much different than the movie Malorn trees, don't they?
I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, you're right. They don't. They're not very. They really don't lean on the Malorn thing in the movies, do they?
No, I guess
Lothlorien is pretty green.
Continue, Corey. I'm sending you a tree that I think resembles the Malorn tree in my mind, but you continue.
I'm gonna dream about it in the night. I'm gonna go trap, puke, sip, trap, puke, sip.
Oh, there's a real tree that looks like this. Wild.
What? Are you looking at, Mike? Are you looking at a picture of a beech tree? Because that's what I said.
No.
What kind of tree are you looking at?
Dragon's blood tree.
That's not real.
Google it, man.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
Well, okay, from below, I can definitely see what you're saying. But I think with the Malorn, it's like if you just imagine like a hole in the ground and then like say like, I don't know, 10 feet up, there's just a ring of branches, and then like another 10 feet, another ring of branches, and another 10 feet. That's what I always
A
pictured.
staged kind of deal.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
People also ask, can you grow a dragon blood tree in the US? Does dragon blood tree exist? Okay, sorry, I'm going to close this window. I'm going back to my madam.
Well, this is how I pictured the Malin trees, but I didn't research them. So continue.
Well, it's a good thing you came to the madam house today.
Yeah.
So the leaves of the Malorn, they are silver below, but they're green up on the top, which you'd have to be a pretty cool elf to be all the way up there to see. Until the autumn comes. Now, Mike, this tree doesn't lose its leaves in the fall. They turn golden, and they stay there all winter until the spring when golden flowers bloom on the branches, and then the golden leaves are finally shed, carpeting, Mike, the ground with gold. Gold above and gold below, Mike.
As above, so below. Is that what you're saying?
Sure, I'm just really trying to stretch this out. So these leaves are also good, by the way, for wrapping and preserving food, which is all I'll say about that for the moment. And also a type of rope, which is called hithlane, which was used in this chapter, by the way, wink, wink, can be made from the bark of the Malorn tree, which for now I will also say no more about.
Would that kind of rope be good for tying up and whipping one's enemy?
Yes, in fact, specifically if that enemy hated all things elven.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
had an allergy to Malorn trees. To melons. Sorry, melons. So Melern grew in Valinor and in Numenor. And a Numenorian king who was a great shipbuilder apparently never cut one down, Mike, not even a shipbuilder. That's how well respected the Malorn tree is. And this shipbuilder's name, by the way, was Tar Aldarion. And Tar had a friend who you may have heard of. It was Gilgalad.
Oh,
Gilgalad
a friend from across the pond, would you say?
Personal friend of the show, Gilgalad the Elven King. Yes, and Tar gave Gil some nuts, some Malorn nuts, and Gil gave those nuts to Galadriel, who planted them.
Yeah, he did.
I think it was a couple of mathoms ago. I mentioned, I probably could have just looked this up in my own notes, the document that I currently have open. Tolkien had like a really early note that Gilgalad was in love with Galadriel. Right. And I hypothesize that that's going to be a real big plot point of the Amazon series.
Oh, God.
Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So the Melern that are growing in Lothlorien came from Numenor through Galadriel. And Galadriel planted them by the river Anduin. Thus, Lothlorien was born. I lose my place again. And so, Mike, that was the only place that they grew in Middle Earth. Like counting Numenor and Valinor as not Middle Earth. But they did not grow to the great size and height of the Numenorian Melerns. By the way,
I didn't know that.
Imagine how bonkers they must have been.
I think everything in Numenor and why did I just blank? Valinor are probably quite bonkers.
Yeah, pretty spectacular, pretty incredible to imagine because Lothlorien is like crazy.
It's cool that all this stuff is described. And it's just up to your imagination how amazing Valinor and Numenor must be.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. That's a really good way to sort of like write it. Like, yeah, to just give you this grandiose description of a place and be like, but somewhere else.
He kind of wrote himself into a corner with those two. Like, But yeah, it's the most wonderful place ever. And then there's this even better place.
Okay, so actually, that's Mike. The entire history of the Malorn. I could go a tad further, but I'm going to stop here for the sake of spoilers. And then my final note in the Matham House is that Malorn, it seems, is also the name of the magazine published by the Tolkien Society. And I think that you knew that going into this, Mike, and you only selected this Matham to incite my rage and to trigger me.
I didn't know.
Well, now you know.
There's an eye opener and no mistake.
Sightseeing with Sam, the fan favorite, host favorite, everyone's favorite. Sightseeing with Sam, where we talk about sights that Sam saw this particular chapter, this particular leg of the journey. Mike, what did Sam see?
Sam saw a lot this chapter, Corey. But one thing in particular that I don't think Sam ever thought he would see is Sam saw that his master also sometimes is at a loss for words.
I think that's come up before, that Sam saw like a slightly more human side to Frodo.
Yeah, I think Frodo's being humanized in front of Sam, which is probably going to lead Sam to believe he can do heroic things too.
This is a beautifully thought out hero's journey that Samwise is on.
What do you think that Sam saw?
Well, Mike, this isn't a sight so much, but I would really like to discuss Sam's Uncle Andy. Did you catch that in the text?
I forget.
So they're crossing the rope bridge, and Sam is like wretchedly terrified. And when he gets off, he says something to the effect of, "Even my Uncle Andy never did such a trick."
That's the most boring Hobbit name, Andy, Uncle Andy.
Yeah, it's so like it sort of works as like a weird uncle name, but like not when your name is Samwise and your father is Hamfast.
Yeah. Maybe they just called him Andy. His name was like Andfast.
Well, actually, oh yeah, it was Andwise. I did some research on this, Mike, because I really wanted to come at this one proper. So Andy was the son of Hobson and the eldest brother of Hamfast the Gaffer Gamgee, and his proper name was Andwise the Roper Gamgee. And apparently, sorry?
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently he was a rope maker. And the rope making was apparently a tradition in the Gamgee family, and the gaffer was the one to sort of slight tradition and go into gardening.
So they're a rope making family. That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It really is.
I'm unsure if the internet pulled a bit of a fast one on me here, but in a little bit of research, I found out that a rope walk, which is what Sam did, is apparently a term for an area where material is laid out straight before it is woven into rope. Like sometimes it's like covered to like so that it can dry, but it's just like this long sort of corridor, and it's called a rope walk. And Sam did a rope walk, and then he said, "Not even my Uncle Andy did that." Like, is this the worst Tolkien dad joke in the book? Like,
I hope it is.
Yeah. So I'm just altogether confused by this, Mike. I don't know what to make of it.
Because Sam has an obsession with rope.
He does
makes sense
yeah.
now.
Yeah. But what tricks did Andwise do? I don't get it.
I don't know what trick. Like maybe like some lassoing.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe just weaving rope in a really high quality way.
Like he wouldn't have been crossing a river because hobbits are afraid of water.
Yep, definitely not. Yeah, wouldn't have been a rope ladder into a tree because fuck that. Yeah. So Sam saw what it was like to be Uncle Andy. Okay, so that's it for sightseeing, I suppose.
Sam saw some sights.
That he did.
Riders of Rohan! What news from the mark?
Hobbit News, where we discuss any upcoming news from the Shire.
For example, the Shire Challenge, which you and I entered and fucking conquered, Mike.
We conquered the show. We made it all the way to Bree, Corey.
We did, yeah. So if you follow us on our Instagram, you may have seen this before. We joined a thing through a thing called the Conqueror Challenge, which is like a fitness challenge, a virtual fitness challenge where you... Is it just running and biking, or can you swim? Can you swim the Conqueror?
I think you could do any distance activity. Actually, I haven't tweaked my settings, and mine has been tracking my walking.
Oh, cool.
Like when I go for a long walk, or it tracked me mowing the lawn. So,
oh, nice.
Any physical activity, I think, could be tracked.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. So they recently released a Lord of the Rings challenge, which is 5 challenges. There's the Shire, the Fellowship, Moria, something else, and then Mount Doom. Might be Mordor and then Mount Doom. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're not there yet. But between the end of the last episode and now, we entered the Shire Challenge. We built a fellowship called That Hobbit Shit, fucking obviously, and we did it. We finished the Shire Challenge. We did like over 200 kilometers between the two of us.
Yeah.
We're fucking great, Mike.
Now, now we're on our way to where are we going? Lothlorien, actually.
I think we're headed to Rivendell.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, from Bree to Rivendell,
which is quite a while.
Yes,
it's the Mines of Moria, I think.
No, that's the next challenge. That's after the fellowship.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just a little ways along, Corey. I'm 13% along on this one.
Oh, sweet. I'm actually, I think I am 8% along because, for you folks at home, some of the challenges have 2 different distances, like a distance if you're running and a distance if you're cycling. And I'm cycling, Mike is running. So we cannot be a fellowship on this particular challenge. We were in the last one. So I am 8% of the distance currently. I've done 92 kilometers.
Holy moly, I'm 22 kilometers.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I suppose it's okay. It's a 160 kilometer challenge, and yours is like what, 900?
Yeah, it's almost 1100, which is like kind of nuts.
11 feet.
Yeah, it lets you choose like the time that you want to do it in. So I gave myself a full year for it, just in case. But I've been sort of excuse me, I've been like nickel and diming it. I was kind of thinking if I did my commute every day, I would probably finish it fairly quickly because I think I do about 10 kilometers in commuting every day.
Yeah.
But anyhow, one of the cool things is that when you join the challenge for each challenge, like we're on the second one, it either plants 5 trees for the challenge or you keep 10 plastic bottles out of the ocean. So Mike, between you and I, we have planted 10 real trees somewhere in the world.
That's right. Hopefully in Lothlorien.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Or blood dragon trees. That would be cool too.
That would be kind of neat. Yeah. I'd be pretty okay with that.
Oh, the other cool thing, Corey, is we get a real life medal for winning or for participating, a participation trophy.
Well, that's like perhaps what you might call the man-child aspect of it. But
it has a little door that you open and there's a ring.
And the one ring is in it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's childish about that.
Mike, they've shipped. I checked mine. Mine's in Chicago right now.
What?
They're on their way.
I'm gonna wear mine.
Wear it to work, please.
Oh boy.
But what I think is kind of cool is we to enter this challenge we used our Patreon earnings, which I think is a pretty good use of it because thanks to our Patreon supporters we have planted trees. So you're not just supporting Mike and I getting drunk; we're planting real trees in the real world.
Yeah, and we're entering fitness challenges.
Yes,
and you know, working off that beer that we've drank.
Yeah, exactly. We're being good, fit, healthy boys. We're pairing beers with a healthy, active lifestyle. But Mike, you reminded me of my final point on this subject. The Tolkien Society has yet to release a statement about this particular fitness challenge.
Really?
I've not found an official statement, Mike, from the Tolkien Society on this particular fitness challenge.
Huh.
Okay, so I'm gonna retell a joke that you made that I thought was funny for everybody out there listening. I think I said something about the Tolkien Society, and you said, "Corey, this is a marathon, not a toddle to the pub."
I forgot I made that joke completely, so it's new to me.
Oh yeah, well there you go. I slept better that night knowing that you had such a sweet burn. Anyhow. Oh, actually, yeah, and some other Hobbit news. We just passed 6,000 total listens for the podcast.
Holy moly.
Woohoo! Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I will draw you, Saruman, as poison is drawn from a wound.
I will draw you, Saruman. Mike, I don't think we're drawing Saruman yet, but this is the segment where we present our chapter illustrations.
Yeah. So Corey, I'm sending you the illustration now.
Okay.
You may be familiar with what this is based on. It's based on a famous Dracula.
Oh. I've escaped unscathed. But oh man, that is awesome. I love it. I really love it.
I quoted our boy Boromir on the cover.
Yes, you did. Oh man, that's sweet. Yeah, yeah. I can picture the Dracula cover.
His creepy eyes and then the woman sleeping.
And Frodo just losing his shit. Oh, that's sweet, Mike. I like that a lot. Oh, I like that you put Tolkien's name in it too.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's
I guess we don't always do that, do we?
No, definitely not. I don't even know if we even usually put like the Fellowship of the Ring or the Lord of the Rings. Obviously like whatever the cover requires. It's a case by case basis.
Yeah, we do whatever we want, more or less. So Galadriel's watching Frodo sleep, Corey.
Yes. Frodo looks like he's screaming in sleepy agony.
He's upset. I'll send you the original because it was pretty tough to like make it true to it.
I would really like to see the comparison. Yes, that's sweet. I really like, Mike. I really like how you have gone for like vintage book cover, like
it's fun
in one or two different ways. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of it makes for a interesting challenge. They become more difficult than you expect.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I for the next chapter, you had sort of mentioned that Galadriel is in your cover, and I was going to put Galadriel in my cover for the next one, and I was like, oh shit, I should definitely wait until I've seen. Like I was going to try and start it because I took so long to do the last cover. I thought I should start it like well in advance, but I was like, oh no, I think I should wait to see your chapter just in case. Just in case.
Well, I hope it wasn't the same idea. I was worried that it could possibly be because I know your love of Dracula.
No, actually, no. No, it won't. Actually, I think it might. The idea that I had initially thought, I think they will lead quite lovelily into each other.
Okay, cool.
I think that'll be cool, actually, as like a sequence.
Did you click that Dracula cover I sent you?
Oh, did you send it to me in the chat? Oh, sorry, I was waiting for it to come as a text. One sec.
Dracula's such a creep in it. Wait.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, excellent.
What a creepazoid.
Oh man, I love the quotes on the top and the bottom. That is fucking sick. Oh, that's amazing. None have escaped unscathed. Sweet. Oh, that is excellent, Mike. So thank you for listening to episode 18, holy shit, of season 2 of That Hobbit Shit, Fellowship of the Ring. Find us on Twitter at Hobbit Shit. Find us on Instagram at That Hobbit Shit. find us on the Conqueror app if you ever want to join Conqueror Challenge. You can email us at thathobbitshit at gmail.com. And find us on Patreon to support the show. Patreon.com/thathobbitshit. You can join up for $1 and we'll mail you some stickers. And if you join a tier that is $10 or more a month, after you've joined for $30, you will get a t-shirt fulfilled by Patreon. Isn't that cool?
It actually is cool. Did you get your t-shirt yet, Corey?
No, I still haven't. I think I should request it though.
Yeah, we have to wait until we have more money now that we marathoned ours out. But
well, yeah, there's a bit of a backlog for the for where the funds need to go, but that's okay. Get a t-shirt, get some stickers. You can have both. Pepper your neighborhood in that Hobbit shit. I guess that's it. Thanks for listening. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Judy and Jeremy and Nicole and David and Chris for supporting us. That's it. I'm Corey.
I'm Mike. And may the hair on your toes never fall.
Never fall.